So, what have we learned? It's been 6 or more weeks and I have made 4 vlogs. I've made more than 4 in fact, but I've published 4 vlogs. And it's time for me to take a pause and to step back and think about what I've learned from the exercise so far. Well, one of the things I've learned, perhaps reminded myself of, is how very much fun it is to make videos, to make vlogs. More fun now perhaps than it was 8 years ago when I first started to make videos, because the software and the hardware are both of them so much better. I don't think this is entirely because I've been able to afford better quality now. I really do think there's been a huge technological advance since I was working 8 years ago. I just remember how difficult it was to cope with what Microsoft was offering me to work with, to cope with the quality of the film that I was getting off my camera and the quality of the sound that I was managing to record. And it is so much easier now than it was then. Which is not to say that it is without its complications. I would say that a large part of what I've been doing these first few weeks is involved with me learning how to make the software do what I want it to do, how to make the hardware behave as I want it, and how to make them mesh. So there's been an extremely steep learning curve for me, but at the same time I feel I have been learning. I think I have got better as I go along. One of the things that I have learned and been able to do something about in terms of the technology is that I've learned how to cope with me drying, fluffing, and generally making a fool of myself. Since I don't particularly want to share that online, I have realized that it's possible to film with 2 cameras, and this is what I'm doing at the moment, obviously, and I'm therefore able to switch between one camera and the other, and therefore also able to more seamlessly cut between scenes when I am obliged to look down and check my notes. If you saw anything of the the first video that I made, there was a very large number of instances in that video where I forgot what it was I wanted to say. I hadn't prepared myself enough, of course, and I kept having to cut, and there are moments when the picture jumps and there are moments when black spaces appear on the screen, and I'm hoping that having got the brilliant idea 6 weeks in of using the 2 cameras that I own, I'm hoping that it might be possible now to film everything in one shot, and more or less, and then cut from one camera to the other, and so perhaps avoid the cutting and making it obvious that I'm cutting. I'm also hoping that I'm a bit more relaxed in front of the camera now than I was when I made the first episode, and perhaps that will mean that I won't have to cut so much. So another of the technical things that I'm quite pleased about is the quality of the microphone that's embedded into this camera. There's a microphone in that camera as well. I'm not really sure how good that is, but the microphone in the little camera here, it's a Sony CyberShot. The microphone in this camera is fantastic. The quality of the sound that it's picking up, I'm so impressed with it, and it means that I'll probably use the sound from this camera in the final video. I didn't realize how good it was. The very first film that I made, and I think the second vlog episode as well, I actually recorded most of the sound on my little Zoom recorder, which I've been using for 8 years, 10 years. But when I came to listen to the sound that was being picked up by the little camera, the Sony Cybershot, it was very good indeed. Since I've plugged Sony, I should say that the big camera, the one that I'm talking into now, is a Canon. Well, yes, the other thing, as I mentioned at the beginning, that I'm very impressed with is the software. I'm using Movavi Screen Capture Studio 8, and I'm extremely pleased with that. You saw perhaps a little segment of the interface screen from the computer on video blog number 3. I think it was on video blog number 3 when I was making the animated titles. I can do so many things with Movavi Screen Capture software that I only dreamed of being able to do when I was working with Microsoft back in the days of yore. One of the most important things is that the software recognizes and accepts film that I filmed on the Canon, on the Sony, on my laptop, on my surfboard, on my tablet, on my smartphone. It takes the film from all over, which was not the case for some of the other software that I looked at. So this is absolutely a positive thing. And I think it also contributes that everything works well, that my computer is quite powerful. Certainly a great deal more powerful than the computer I was using way back when. So I would say then that I've been learning the technical matters, how to operate the software, how to operate the hardware, things to think about like lighting and so forth. At this point, I have about 10 minutes of video film talking about the things that I've learned of the technical nature. And I think I should bring it to a close here and try and then edit that down to 6 minutes, which is my target figure for these vlogs. Apart from the 10 minutes on technical material, I have also got around about 25 minutes of me rambling on about the other things that I have learned other than technical matters. So I'm going to bring this one to a close here, and I wanted to say that up until 2 weeks ago, it was my ambition to publish a vlog episode every week. I have decided that I'm going to abandon that ambition, at least temporarily. I think that it is more important to publish something which I am at least partly satisfied with, rather than to publish something just because I have a deadline to hit. So I would like to say thank you very much for watching, and thank you for watching other episodes so far, if you have done, and if you haven't, you can go back and look at them. I hope that you will come back to the channel and look at future videos, and I will do my utmost to improve so that future videos will be more interesting. Thank you again for your attention, and I hope to see you again here in the not too distant future. Bye bye for now.